what said did you claim it? Instant Xbox, spin the block, his legs live. Fast talking, no riddling, moonwalking, selling moon rock just to make dividends. You in traffic with family? That flash making a portrait. Gun kick back, not grannies from porches. David on the scene, you know that it's scorching. What's the matter with King? No response to the saying, advancing the line, advancing the payment. You from the game and shoot, what said did you claim?
You already know the time, told my boys to hold the line. We gon' shoot it out in seconds, leave you posted like a vine. Bow your head down to the king, leave your roses at the shrine. We stay ready for the war, just need the king to drop the sign. Say what you running from, what you running from? I'm with my team, we bleed green, that's what you wanted, huh? Say what you running from, what you running from? I'm with my team, we bleed green, that's what you wanted, huh? This what you wanted, this what you wanted, huh?
Peace and blessings, and welcome back to Xbox Frontline News with your boy, the King. Now, on this powerful Monday, and I hope your Father's Day was fantastic. I want to give a shout out to Eric Von Erich for being the first person in the chat. Shout out to you. I appreciate you for being here. Understand this. I am 98% right all the time, and if you don't like it, well, deal with it. And I know some people have a problem with this. But this is the gift and the curse, and I give you the gift that keeps on giving. Now, this whole week, I was giving people what I got a chance to play, interview, talk about at Summer Games Fest. And it was a great time. I put those thoughts into video. I gave y'all exactly what I had. I do have more stuff. I do have the interview again with Matthew Ball and Christopher Drang. That one is over an hour and some change long, and I'm going to drop it during the week. Also, I have the Satya sort of interview that I'm going to be dissecting and going through that. It was just so much stuff, so much content that I did have to take a chance and, take a break this weekend. So, again, apologize for no Fight Night Friday, but I left all the content there for you to see. And I noticed things. You guys like certain particular games, and certain games don't resonate with you. Like Tomb Raider really didn't resonate with you. Like Crazy Taxi really didn't resonate with you. But Phantom Blade Zero resonated with you. Also, you got to say, Omnimusha sort of kind of didn't resonate. And I'm going to tell you why that didn't resonate with you. But Aliens Fireteam Elite 2 resonated with you. And I started to realize that I don't know what video is going to resonate the best with you. Halo didn't resonate with you. It is about being consistent. It's not about chasing numbers. It's about dropping videos and let it organically do what it do. I do not have an industry pushing me. I do not have a big conglomerate that I work for. I don't have a machine of individuals placing my videos, curating videos, throwing them up, doing different things. I don't. So I get true metrics on what you guys actually care about. And then by seeing that, I know what games to play that you're interested in, right? So I'm watching and I'm looking and I said, okay, well, Phantom Blade Zero is without a doubt a game that I'm going to review, play, and dissect. It's a game that I find intriguing. I find it intriguing based upon the kung fu aspects, the karate aspects, or the martial art aspects of it. I love the entities that's in the world, and I am intrigued by the storyline that I didn't get a chance to see. They didn't allow me to play a story beat, so I really don't know. They just dropped me into the world with already some weapons from bosses that I already beat, apparently. So again, I can't wait to play the game from scratch, from the beginning, to get a piece of the story, to understand where we're going. But then Fireteam Elite 2 told me that you guys were interested in partnering up. You love the world of Aliens, you love Geiger, you love Ridley Scott, you love that stuff, and that has a unique hold on you. And I said, cool, then I can do party up games where I link up with you guys. We play, y'all jump in through Discord and we play the games. Oh, let's go. I get a chance to drink some of this. Thank God. Blessings.
At Project Aries donated $5 through Super Chat. I'm seeing a lot of brokies online. King, we need to speak to the dry pocket ones out here crying. Hashtag Steam Machine Team.
Yo, listen, I had a comment, right? And thank you, Aries, for the $5 super chat. Live Supremacy was good. Rakishi was good. Jay's Wade was good. John Bon Zombie was good. What are the Censors? What's good? Legendary Intel, what's up? I see a lot of people out there talking about the Steam machine. We're going to get into that because that's a big topic. You know what's an even bigger topic? You know what's even a bigger topic? And I want y'all to share it out. What's the even bigger topic? This is the even bigger topic because everybody's going to ask why Grand Theft Auto 6 price is what Grand Theft Auto 6 price is. I don't see everybody jumping out their skins, jumping out their bodies, being absolutely upset about what I told people what it was going to be. And let me tell you why I figured out that Grand Theft Auto 6 had the cachet to do what it's about to do for reasons that I'm about to explain. This is brought to you by, what is it, Kotaku? All right, so a Bank of America analyst says that a Grand Theft Auto 6 should be $80 so it doesn't make everyone else's $70 games look bad. That's ignorance at its best. All right? You're telling me that I should pay more because I don't want my game to overshadow games of the same price, or that our developers deserve more money because the game looks better than games at a similar price point. The ignorance in that is astounding, but that goes to show you that that guy doesn't play games. That guy doesn't understand what development is, and he's an investor. Bank of America is an investor when it comes to Rockstar. You see, Rockstar, Take-Two, they have investors. These investors dictate price point, distribution, and how much money goes into a particular title. When the particular title that you're looking at is estimated to sell 46 million in its first month, that's the raw estimates. I got these estimates. Trust me. I know a lot of guys be like, oh, trust me, bro. No. I got these estimates by analysts that believe that that's exactly the raw metrics in which Grand Theft Auto 6 can sell. In the 4SKU Grand Theft Auto 6 era, they're looking at the price point and showing you the highest price tag while telling you this is a bargain for $80, while taking the industry and dragging the industry to $80. And the only title that's able to do so, and this is what analysts and content creators believe, is Grand Theft Auto 6. Based upon the success of Grand Theft Auto 5. Now, Grand Theft Auto 5's success is truly based upon Grand Theft Auto Online. Grand Theft Auto Online was a machine within itself that money was poured into at a rapid pace. Grand Theft Auto 6, from the beginning, will be a title that money has been poured into. We're looking at estimates of $1 billion has went into the development of this title. So to receive its return off of investment, $80 was a no-brainer. My initial thought when I bet with Lord Addict from Iron Lord's podcast, was $100. I felt that they obviously can receive $100 based upon the severity of how much money was invested into the title. Now, looking at the price points for each listing, I have to go to my confidential sources And I'm going to tell you exactly. And I had this for over a week. Here we go. I had the Steam prices too. Oh, I told you about Steam already. All right, 46 million copies at launch is insane. All right, okay. All right. Boom, boom, boom. Sorry. I have to pull it up. All right, so the standard edition is 89 pounds, right? It's $80 here, $90 there. 109 is the deluxe edition. That's 100 here. That's 110 there. Premium edition is 129. I think that's 120 here, 130 there. And collector's edition is 199, which is I think 189 here, 199 there. And that's likely the physical edition only. So, in getting these numbers and dissecting it, I think the deluxe edition is the edition that is going to be somewhat of more than the base, right? I think the base is going to be absolutely bare bones. I think it's not going to have anything that you absolutely need. They're looking for you to get inside and then purchase later at a different price point, which actually doesn't make any sense. If you're planning on playing the game, I expect you to buy the game at the price point that actually gives you exactly what you need from the game. Now, understanding that Grand Theft Auto 6 and investors, and this is from a month ago, right? So this was in May 4th, 2026. That conversations were being had in the background. Rockstar had these conversations with investors to get a price point that everybody was comfortable with, that Rockstar was comfortable with, in order to make sure that gamers were comfortable with it. Focus groups was talked to. Individuals felt that the price point at $80 was a decent price point, while others probably felt that it was too much. Now, the idea that $80 based upon a game that is equal in price is 70. Let's say 70. One, it couldn't do 70. But let's say 70. And you said you have one developer that made a game that Grand Theft Auto 6 outshined. But then you got to look at the development costs that went aside that game, right? Apples to apples is not. It's apples to oranges, where Grand Theft Auto 6 has an inflated budget. The budget is inflated. So again, they have a longer road to recoup. Whereas the other game that is at $70 that looks good, that is made with a budget that is in line with what their return off investment is projected to be, would achieve their return off investment. This thing is made to last for 10 to 15 years, just like the previous one. So not to be shocked by the sticker price, because that was to be expected. I heard people say stupid things like, I would pay $200 for Grand Theft Auto 6. You didn't say it in a vacuum. You said it to the ether, and the ether heard. And obviously, there's a $200 price point for individuals that want to go that high with that game. Listen, this is a hobby. I saw people come at me, and you know what? I gotta pull this up, because last video I did, I had some individuals that was upset at, let me pull it. I'm gonna pull it because I gotta show it, because it's funny in the sense that, oh, let's go. Let's get it.
At Project Aries donated $5 through Super Chat. All I'm saying is, crying doesn't pay the bills. I see it, I want it, I buy it, I own it. Neo Geo gang, 3do gang. This ain't you.
Facts. Let's go. Next one. All right, Legendary Intel with the $2 super chat. I'm going for the deluxe edition. More than likely, I'm going to have a review copy. And But do I want a review copy? Because what happens when you get a review copy, they give you the best possible option, right? And then when you get the best possible option of that game, you play that game, and then you have to play every aspect of those options, which at sometimes can be daunting for some. It's not daunting for Lord Attic. Lord Attic plays these games at a clip that back in my heyday, when I would stay up 24 hours and did I have a job? I probably did have a job, but I was just didn't have a life. I had a job, probably had school, but didn't have a wife and kids. I didn't have a life. I didn't have that level of responsibility, because mentally you have to check in with the people that you check in with. Kids, dogs, everything. All that stuff takes from your daily habits. So let me say something. Check this out. And you got to see this because I'm giving y'all the back end to some of my video. So y'all got to see it, right? This is the funny part. All right. You got Kilo Papa Golf, who says, always keeping it funky. Salute my brother. Happy Father's Day. Blessing. Happy Father's Day. You the man. Hell Fox. Thank you. You said it best, King. I don't care what's going on with how they do business. I just want my preferred platform, Xbox, to keep feeding me these games. Good games, of course. Now, you see, when I said in my last video that it's 3 things that you should be concerned with. Does my game work? Does my console work? And does my services work? That, as a consumer, is your sole responsibility to caring. Now, I got to show you, because I don't like to do this, but I got to do this because, this one, what is the Metroplex Gamer said, wise words to live by. Does my game work? Does my console work? Does my online services work? You forget the 4th one. Do I live another day to enjoy my purchases? Every day is a blessing. Yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery. Today is the present. People should take care of themselves because they never know. This is a person that understands exactly where life is, what life means, and what's going on. They intrinsically kept themselves grounded. I love comments like, I read all, you notice I checked off all of them. I read each and every last comment because I respect your time. And if you took time out to comment on something that I did, I respect it. I respect it. So I don't care if you're cursing me out. I don't care. Because at the end of the day, you took the time out to curse me out. The time that you use for things that matter to you, even if you're upset with them, is energy given. Right? So look at this. He said, this is why black fatigue is a thing. I don't understand. Happy Father's Day, King. Every father has, every father on this channel, blessings. He said, I read this yesterday. All right, hold on. Dead box. Let's get to this. Sony's been doing it. Hold on. Here we go. Now, this is Remix 2009. Check this out. You have the right to worry about whatever you want. Just because you don't have stock in a company doesn't mean you should shut up, which is basically what you're being told to do. Now, this part is the part that triggered them. And I can only ascertain by the language of the text that the fact that I said having stocks in a company fostered some form of resentment in his soul, that he felt that he had to lash out in this way. We got to check it. At the risk of sounding cliche, and I'm glad that you caveated this with that because you do. I'm a grown blank man and I pray Xbox will still exist. Great. We all pray for the same thing. You had an Xbox channel, obviously, right? But don't tell me how the F to feel about my long-term investment that I paid for. Absolutely true. Long-term investment is the wrong word that you want to use here. Because again, in this digital era, when you purchased your console, you only have a licensing agreement with the manufacturer and with the publisher. If you break terms of service, your license is revoked and your long-term investment is Avideze. Gone. Forget about it. Right? You could do something as simple as curse at me here, and if I was a publisher, take offense, remove you from said conversation, right? Think about it. So the thought process in long-term investments, thinking that you have any say, is astounding to me. Look behind me. You see those statues? I purchased those statues when they came out at a premium. One of the cheapest statues behind me was $1,500. Well, looking at $1,500, I'm thinking I have an investment. At the time I jumped into statues, what I said, long-term investment, if worse come to worse, I sell them. Did not predict the 3D printing boom that actually destroyed the statue industry at a rate you cannot even comprehend. Some of the statues behind me I can get for $500. That's insane. I see investors. I had one investor that invested into the Incredible Hulk OG statue from Sideshow. At one point, that statue was going for $20,000. That statue is now affordable for me to pick up for $1,400. That's $1,400. I said $20,000 down to $1,400. He watched his numbers deflate. He thought it was a long-term investment. It turned out to be something else. In every industry, in anything, nothing stays static. Everything is in flux. So the thought process, and you brought a long-term investment in something that is not tangible, that's not yours, and I have something that's physical that I thought was a long-term investment, you and I both look like idiots, right? Absolute fools. Based upon nothing in this life stays the same. But I digress. Stop telling people how to feel. I'm not telling you how to feel. I'm telling you, if you feel that's what you want to do and waste your time worrying about a $4 trillion company and what they do with their assets as far as selling studios, getting rid of studios, doing whatever they do with their studios, your rage can consume you all you like. But at the end of the day, your opinion means zero to them. Nothing. I know that comes as a harsh hit to you because you thought you mattered because you made a long-term investment. Sorry, sir. What you did was point of sale. That's all it is. They delivered on a promise to give you the product. You got the product. Take your behind and go play the product. That's it. Now, he says, if it dies, it dies. But I will take news however the hell I want to take it. Obviously, you took it in anus. And me, pause. I'm going to say is, you shouldn't have. You should have just said, dag, I never thought about it like that. Or, obviously, you know what, King? You're right. Because a lot of times, people want to rage bait. People want to get us to the point where we're absolutely fighting over what the content is. Now, I obviously look at everyone's... Oh, let's go. Thank you. I appreciate it.
At Hollywood Rules 2673 donated $5 through Super Chat. Bro, the dudes that were jumping up and down when they bought a controller with no box look like clowns now. I'm good with my LAX.
Blessings. You know what's crazy when it comes to that after seeing the price points, and I told you they would have controllerless options. Now, I was a little bit wrong when it came to a couple of those SKUs because, remember, I'm not a leaker. They send me this stuff, and I'm just like, okay, cool. This is the price point. All right, cool. I didn't want to do it, but I was like, you know what? Let me do it. And I knew by Monday somebody else was going to absolutely leak. Oh! Let's go.
At Hollywood Rules 2673 donated $2 through Super Chat. I'm worried for our hobby as a whole.
Facts. All right, so I thought somebody was going to leak it on like before Monday or before Tuesday because I think Tuesday, what's today's day? Today is the 28th. Tuesday is the day that you're going to start seeing all these videos and all this stuff. We're going to talk about this. I got something for you. And, you know, he says, I'm worried for the hobby as a whole. As a gamer, as a true gamer, as a gamer that game on anything at any time, I will game on a refrigerator if it's possible, bro. And y'all saw that I put up my custom console that I had got from, I think it was Tabletop Minis or Tabletop PCs or something like that That thing has in it a Pentium something. Like that machine is a serious machine. I paid like $3,000 for it. And it comes with a backup hard drive with all the games that I have on it just in case anything goes wrong. I customized the button layout, the side decals that faded, the Arcade King that's on the box or whatever. But I go and I play my games and I enjoy my games and I play on everything, handhelds, I still got Neo Geo Pockets that I got to change the little lithium battery inside, do stuff like that. My PlayStation Go, PSP Go, I still got my PSPs, my Vitas. Thought handheld gaming was insane. I do need to get a Turbo Express. I don't have one. Shout out to Mike from Neo Geo. He has one. He showed me. I was like, man, I needed that. But gaming is intrinsic to our soul, and I understand the pain. Now, I want to show y'all something because some information came to me, and I was just like, oh, that's cool. Because I'm trying to figure out how the hell, hold on, Steam, let me stop this here. Okay, I have the sound off, right? I was trying to figure out how Steam was supposed to sell this Steam machine, right? I'm trying to figure out. I got the PlayStation TV console. I got that. Like the little TV PlayStation thing, I got that. Yo, that is the easiest way to hack their jaw. It's crazy. Somebody put me up on game with that. This is what they plan on doing with you. You see? That's what they plan on doing. This here is a sleeve that you put. Oh, hold on. Let me move myself. Let me remove. Hold on. This right here is a sleeve that you put on your Steam machine. Okay. That's what they got for you. Okay. That's what they have for you. Is that game the game that is going to? Yeah, I had the PSX. Is that game the game that's going to force people to purchase? What I'm hearing is that the game would only be playable on the Steam machine. What I'm hearing that it won't be compatible with the Steam Deck in no variation. Probably the Steam Deck too. But it's only compatible with the Steam machine. Does Valve take one of their most anticipated games and place that game outside of the grasp of Steam users? As a Steam user, myself, I would be upset. Because one, I purchase games from Steam on a deal type of thing. Like if they got, deals and steals and bundles and all that stuff. Or if I can't get that game outside of PC, I get it. Also, I like supporting some of the developers that put their game up for like early access thing that they got over there. And you purchase the game and the game is like built as you playing it. Like you come back like a month or two later and they added new stuff. It's like a side scroll beat 'em up called Takedown 2 that I'm playing right now, which I find to be amazing. I'm a Final Fight type of dude. Like Streets of Rage person. I love those side scroll and beat 'em ups. That was huge for me in the Neo Geo era. So Takedown 2 is in vein like that. Like, when the playable character that you got now is like Axel. It's a great game. and it has improved upon itself. I think from the last 4 months or whatever, they just had a big update. Game looks amazing, looks incredible, brutal, great game. But I go there for deals. If they were to take that and make Half-Life 3 locked off to that, what would it do? Would that enrage people? Would that force people to get a Steam machine? Because price point at the Steam machine, we might as well just jump into it. Price point at the Steam machine is worse than my wildest imagination. My wildest imagination, and this is brought to you by Day One. And who's doing this? Who's doing this? Oh, Jesse Norris. Valve reveals the Steam machine pricing starting at over $1,000. It's worse than I feared. Remember, I was in a price point, I think it was like $499, $500. And this is before I truly got a grasp on the level of greed, the industry as a whole, and where we're going. And I felt that the biggest problem with the original Steam machines that came out was price point and the operating system. So Steam operating system wasn't as good as it is now. We're talking about, what is it? Not Neutron, whatever the hell that thing is. But it wasn't as optimized. It wasn't as good. It wasn't as robust. Storefront wasn't as queued out. And they took the time when they saw what they did wrong. And they took the time out in their storefront and made their storefront unbeatable and helped you build a library. And building this library, what they said to themselves is they're building future customers for devices that they can release to the public. And the Steam Deck came out at a point where it allowed you to take your PC games with you on the go. Oh, let's go. Let's get it. Let's listen to the lovely Olivia.
At Minimum FRC donated $5 through Super Chat. Why you need a Steam machine? Just grab up that Xbox Ally X portable docked which comes with a built-in controller. Man shrugging emoji.
Facts. But if Half-Life 3 is coded to only work with Steam machines, then is that game big enough for it to garner individuals to go get it? Get a Steam machine. I don't know. I think that's what Valve is betting on, is a gamble. You don't have the unique infrastructure of let's say Xbox, or to a lesser extent PlayStation. And the reason why I say to a lesser extent PlayStation is PlayStation, it doesn't have a 3-prong approach. PlayStation has a 1-prong approach. And their 1-prong approach is their console, their wall garden, my baby, my baby. Xbox 3-prong approach is PC, handheld, and console. So theoretically, you could purchase a title with Xbox Play Anywhere and play it on those devices and laptops and whatever the hell else that you choose to. Valve has that same approach. You see, the idea of gaming like this is 1986 is astounding that people even think that level can still exist in this day and age. There's more than one way to get to the goal. And doing it that way that PlayStation is doing it works for them but for so long. They have to change up at some point in time. We just saw how much money that they made with putting their games on PC. And I think somebody else there needs to reevaluate their strategy, and they need to have a strategy that is greater than. But they're too busy in worrying about what they lose instead of what they gain. And that's the problem. When you're too focused on loss, you're never going to see exactly what you can actually win. Because holding on to something that is inevitably going to evaporate, you're just biding time. And that's the scariest part. But the Steam machine itself, the review embargo lifted today. Now, I don't believe that it lifted today in a sense that I don't see reviewers' videos up yet, or maybe I haven't been as active on YouTube as I need to be. But I look for the ones that I do know that do have the machine to start coming out and talking about the machine right before now this week, actually tomorrow. I think everybody's video is supposed to go up at some point in time in the world. And you're supposed to get a chance to see what the thing can do. The size of the machine, what the thing could do, and what games it plays, how effective it is. My internal thoughts, it's not more powerful than a PlayStation 5 base. So that means it puts it under an Xbox Series X. It's not as powerful as a PlayStation 5 Pro when it comes to delivery options. So I'm trying to figure out what is the reason for the price point that it's being. And with the amount of RAM that is inside the device from 512 to 2 tera at $1,000, it's not enticing for me. Now, the Steam Machine pricing is finally here. There will be 2 models available. You have it's really 4 SKUs. You have with a controller, without a controller. Those individuals that were screaming that they got a controller, I'm not ever going to buy a controller without the console. There's no reason. It just doesn't make sense to me. My whole idea of getting a console and getting the controller is the experience. The experience itself is opening the box, setting up the console, connecting my controller, and gaming how I perceive it. So you guys that had a controller and was like, whoopee, bro. That's a broken experience that I don't want to have any dealings with. And any of you idiots that purchased that controller from eBay, wherever you got it, because your FOMO got the best of you, good for you. I'm so happy that you purchased a $300 controller that makes no sense without the machine that you can run. But my machine is better, and I get it. I heard all the excuses. Whatever floats your boat. Great. I'll do it when I get it. But remember when I told you that the Xbox Project Helix will be $14.99? And you guys laughed at me. And I told you it don't start no cheaper than that. No cheaper than that. What they're planning on doing, what they're showing, and how powerful the machine is, this is garbage. This, they can go ahead with that. They can go ahead with this. This is just a FSR machine. This is trash. This is just a machine that can give you generated frames, upscale your video to your game. That's it. For this price point, bro, go get an Xbox ROG Ally X. Hook it up to your television, take your controller, and go make it happen. This was supposed to be the killer that was supposed to come and kill consoles. This was what's supposed to stop Project Helix. This was the thing that was supposed to bury the PlayStation. Is this your king? Is this your king? I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed. You show me this and demand that, why should we fit the bill for your inability to subsidize your console? Your inability to feel that we're needed. That's a get the out of my face price point. That's a I'm boutique price point. That's a, oh, you don't know about me? Price point. That's a, you must have ain't heard what I do. Price point. Listen here, boo-boo. You ain't that cute, Waterbug. You not him. And I don't know who the hell gassed you up to make you believe that you can drop that and make an impact. Any of you goofy dudes that support this right here, you're going to deserve what you get coming up next. Because let me tell you something. The next generations of consoles is going to come out and is going to make this look like dog water. And you're going to say, well, it should be this price. No, something that makes this look like dog water is going to cost exponentially more. If you accept this, the powers that be will see you buying this and say, aha, we got him. It goes back to perceived value. Y'all did not buy the original Steam machine for good cause. It was an overpriced device that didn't have a stable storefront like it is now, that didn't have a stable operating system. It was half-baked. And for good cause, you did not partake. And that was smart. And at that time, the machine was cutting edge. The Alienware device, the one that I have, was top notch, was the best on the market. You cannot say in good conscience the machine that they're delivering here now is best in class. You cannot say that. But what you can say is the price point is astounding. This is not a pick up and buy. This is not an ecosystem that has an easy barrier of entry. This is a machine that actually is prohibitive in getting gamers to game. I don't know what this device is for, because any person, any PC guy that has his weight in salt knows that they can put it together a better device at a cheaper price that can sit at the same space in which this device would occupy. I'm looking now and I'm trying to figure out, for the life of me, what individuals feel is valuable. Is your time, energy, and your data valuable? Is your finances valuable? If you value any of those things, this should not be a value. Now, purchase what you like. Do whatever the hell you like. Review. Start a channel so you can get your return on investment from a device that you're going to get. Because there's going to be a ton of people in this world that's going to want to know, how is it? What's going on? Is it worth the price? Is it something that I need? You can start a channel, be really successful based upon you going through every game and telling them the differences. You can start up your own Digital Foundry type of channel. That's the only value that I see here. You PC guys are too smart. You're smart enough to know that this isn't worth your time. You console guys that want the next thing, this ain't it. Wait for the next thing. Because graphically, it's not going to boost anything. It's not going to take you to the next level. It's not going to give you anything that you can't already get. It's going to actually keep you at the same place you are for more money that you ever spent in your lifetime for a console. None of you guys have went out and spent $14.28 on a console. In what universe is this acceptable? But again, we are here, and I'm going to tell you, I know I'm going to get a ton of people that's in this chat that's going to say, King, it's worth it for me. And I want to see, after you got it, was it worth it for you? Me personally, I don't see what the killer app is. You said Project Helix won't be 1,500? Well, Anteater, what if you saw something that was absolutely jaw-dropping phenomenal? What if you actually, and I'm basing it off of the current circumstances that are involved at the moment. I do know that Xbox is working on a situation in which you purchase it like a cell phone and you get Game Pass included in your purchase, because they floated this around before, and you have your Project Helix at a subsidized rate in which you pay it off over time, kind of like a cell phone thing. I do know that they're working on that. I do know that that's something that's been bantered around, talked about. We know some stuff. Is it something that's concrete? No, I don't run around telling you stuff like, oh man, I know this and I'm a leak around. I don't care about that. And there'll be options for you to do that. But not everybody falls inside those options. Not everybody has a credit score that makes things available. You see, because if everybody had the same credit score, then Metro PCS and Cricket and all these other phone carriers that work with people with low credit scores, no history, credit history, that's a business. That's a business that is popular inside urban development, right? In areas where low economics forces bad credit. So the plan that Xbox will come out will be the best case scenario for somebody that has at least a 720 credit score. But when you go to urban development, when you go to low economic environments, you're looking at a base credit score of sub 600. They don't qualify. So them is, yeah, all access. It's how my brother got his Series S, and awesome part, it has no interest. Yeah, that was earlier on. It wasn't widely adopted, that all access. I know what you're talking about. It wasn't widely adopted. And it didn't become, because of the barrier entry of what I'm telling you. Now, let me tell you, I got to break it down in a sense that it's going to make sense to you. Consoles sell to economic environments that need the level of distraction in order to facilitate growth. When you look at the upper levels of economics, then you have physical activities that take over the lion's share of time, be it sports, outside activities, that doesn't foster too much gaming time. In different environments where economics is lower, gaming takes up a larger extent of that economics. Do you understand? So, all access is a hard sell to that base. Understanding that, I don't know how subsidies work or will work unless you lower the credit advantage. Then you have a risk of default. So when you're looking at a risk of default, what would be the insurance policies that you take on your all access? Because you have to have insurance policies for creditors to go after individuals that default. Because I can get a console, get it delivered to my house, and stop payment. What is the recourse? You shut down the machine? Because you do have absolute access to the machine, because the machines, all our machines need to be and have to be online always. Your PlayStation has to be online. Your Xbox has to be online. If those things aren't online and they do licensing check, it'll be over 1,500. You can hope and pray all you want. I'm telling you that it is. I hoped and prayed that the Steam machine would be $600 to $700 At the most. How foolish do I look? How foolish do I look? And at the time I told you that, I thought that, oh, Project Helix or the next Xbox would be at least $900. That was before all this madness. After seeing the madness, I said, okay, everything is off the table. Everything is up for grabs. After seeing a $900 PlayStation 5 Pro, Steam said, hold my beer. I'm going to be more than that. But not more powerful. So what the hell do you think the price point for a superior device would be? Based upon you already set the metrics at 1428. What do you think a superior device would be? Or do you believe that Xbox gives a damn about making you happy? Are we delusional or we real? 1,500 is a lot for a console. You just looked at it. I just showed you. Steam Machine just did it. 1428. They just did it. What do you think, tax? That's without tax. You know, in some places like Canada, you might as well forget it. You might as well forget it. Like they're not even talking to you. Go buy a used car. Bro, we're at a point where you could say, yeah, $2,000 in Canada. The hair on my head stand up. He said, yo, $500 is tax. Jesus Christ. Bro, listen, man. I can get over here and I can play the game and ha ha, he he. The truth is, those days of affordable consoles, the $399, the beautiful thought of just going down to Best Buy and getting something that is a hobby. I explained to you my hobby behind me. I no longer participate in the hobby behind me at the extent that I used to. Now, remember, I used to buy those at exorbitant amount of prices, believing that they would retain value and also grow in scarcity in the market. That Moon Knight you see right there, that Moon Knight, when I picked it up, rose to $3,000 in economic trade value. I wouldn't even shudder to believe at how much I can get it for now. I could probably get it for like $700 now. And the thought that stuff will stay the same, the good old days, is a farce. This is absolutely in flux. Now, a lot of you guys are going to believe that, oh no, the prices are going to come down and we're going to come back to some normalcy. I'm going to ask you again, what gives these companies the incentive to go back to sensible prices? And you're going to say, well, they need my money. When have they ever? When have they ever needed you? You would really think they do. They need your data. You see what happened is, and I'm going to tell you the bigger problem. You really think the problem is really the AI and the chipset? That is a subset of whatever the issue is. The bigger problem is Generation 8. Generation 8 is the largest problem that we have now. And the reason why is there's so many good games in Generation 8, and they still collect data from Generation 8. Generation 8 is a money cash cow in the sense that they still sell your data from Generation 8. These companies make money off of your data, how you sit down, how you play, the times you have off, the times you're watching YouTube. What YouTube videos do you watch? What Netflix do you watch? What apps do you log into? All of this stuff is curated, taken, sold. Generation 8 was the generation that emboldened each and every last one of these companies. When Phil Spencer tells you the worst generation to lose was Generation 8, it was because the level of data that was being consumed and sold is astounding. And it also facilitated the pathway to Generation 9. Generation 9 is the issue itself. Generation 9, they get as much data as possible, and the level of data entries in which they take from us is so high. They don't need to subsidize you anymore. This is the generation where subsidies are gone. And you look at it and you say, well, they need me. They got you already. There are millions of individuals playing on these devices daily that keep giving data back to them. So it forces them not to lower any prices. Do you see how Steam actually works? Where Gabe says, I don't need to subsidize the Steam machine. I don't need to take the Steam machine and drop any prices. I don't need to do that. I can put it at a wild price and you're going to go get it. Because the data shows how many times you go to their store and click on a device that is out of stock. How many of you wish listed this device? So if they can get 20% of you individuals that wish list the Steam machine at the wild price that they put, they are above board. No subsidization. Good. Cut it. I hope they don't cut reward points by the time that you cut it. Yo, I swear to God, I got a ton of reward points. I hope they do not cut reward points by the time that you have to go get your console. Yo, you said I'm good. I paid $1,200 right before the price of RAM hike. Listen, I feel you. People in here can't afford Grand Theft Auto 6. Why would they buy a $1,500 console? Bro, can we all just understand that everything right now is at a point where it's like, really, what the F? Like, damn, man, we were at a sweet point. Console prices was dope. Game prices was good. They were manageable. Online services was stable, with a little bit of stuff happening here and there. We were at a point, and then we woke up. I told you before, sometimes companies use the excuse that AI has forced the chipsets to a point where it's unsustainable for us. They will use that excuse. And the suckers that we are, listening to the content creators that need to shill, and they're shilling for themselves. They're not shilling for a company unless they get a stipend from a company and sponsored by a company. Then that's something totally different. Then they need to be saying that I'm sponsored by so-and-so. That stuff needs to happen. To force you in that area to tell you, oh, no, that's a good thing. That's where we are. Bro, I've never been more happy in my life to have spent $500-$600 for consoles early in this generation. I've never been more happy in my life. Because I know now, had I had to buy a console now, it'd be a no for me. It would be a no for me. It would be an okay, so you got to look at my age. You got to say my age, right? You got to say, okay, well, he's 52. He'd be 53. And at his age, what responsibilities do he have? This is a hobby. Remember that. This is not essential. I go buy a snowblower. Bro, I go buy a snowblower, another shed to put the snowblower in, knowing that snow is going to show up. Oh, I'll go get a full body tune-up on my car. I'll go on vacation. $1,500? That's a week cruise. A week. Blessings. 48, hell yeah. He said, I think Xbox will see how fast the Steam machine will sell and it will drop the Helix to $1,500. Yeah, that drop it at $1,500. It's going to be that. That's crazy. He said the top tier Steam machine bundle will be over $2,000. Yo, Kenneth Williams, 123, member for 18 months. I salute you, soldier. Blessings. The Steam machine is not surviving the market. Bro, I don't think they can. They don't have the partners. You know my fear? My fear is Xbox has the partners. And what I mean by have the partners, I know it wasn't worth it. Not for that price. I know it wasn't worth it. Big Lemon. Yo, One Pump Man. That's not a flex. Like, gaming for the rich, it was never that. Yeah, man. Yeah, I had Neo Geo. Yeah, I had stuff that I had to import and I was paying crazy prices for. But I knew it was an import tax. But I knew when it came to the States that I would get the US version at a different price. Me, I had low impulse control as a youth because I was poor. Right? So all those Christmases, all those times being denied and seeing somebody else with something that I wanted, I hustled hard to get my bread up, to never be denied. So I got it anytime I wanted it. And if I got it before anybody else, I did that. I knocked that out. I scratched that itch. Right? But it wasn't like the value wasn't there for the machines and stuff that I did get. When I got a Dreamcast and all that other stuff early, like I think I got it like 6 months early or something like that. I don't know how long I got it. I got it earlier. I had some Penguin racing games, some other stuff, Blue Stinger and all this other stuff, import, up or all. But I understood what I had because nobody in my radius had it. So I paid to be eccentric, eclectic, singular. I paid to be the star in the universe. But now, when you're dropping something at a crazy price that everybody has access to, and it's not worth the value of that price, where's the flex? There's no flex. It's just, I'm being finessed. So it's either be finessed or tell them, nah, I'm good. How many times have you saw something that actually you had to say, nah, I'm good on that. You bugging. You're wild. And looking at it, these dudes are bugging. They're wild. I'm looking at it like, nah, buddy, that's not it. And that's not going to be it. I'm not going to allow you to make me think that's it. Because you're not it. I don't see anything that says I need it. I don't know what they do. And I think that's their problem. You see, Xbox can come out with games that make you say, yeah, buddy. Yes, sir. But those games have to be leaps and bounds above the Series X. PlayStation 5 Pro. The previous generation put us in a pickle because being tethered to the past weakens your future. You can't go so far ahead because, again, you're still able to carry that past data with you that they need. That's the reason why Generation 8 held on so long into this stupid generation that we have here that just got started, that is about to be encroached upon by the next generation. You see, PlayStation actually can wait to 2029 to release a hashtag no PlayStation 6. You know what it is. I'm going to keep the boot on Kong's neck this whole generation. We're going to run it up on these bumps. They can wait. Xbox, their strategy, being first in a space, you must establish ground. They can't wait. And it's not because they just sold 40 million. Buddy, anybody sells, 44 million, but anybody sells 40 million of anything, good one. If I can get a video that can do 40 million, buddy, boy. So I want you to understand something. And I had mad topics. I had mad topics. I did. You know what? I'm not going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about that tomorrow. I got to talk about this. And this is important because Xbox might be doing something that I think that is smart. A lot of you guys don't have an Xbox ROG Ally X or Xbox ROG Ally. A lot of you guys said y'all wanted a dedicated Xbox handheld. I don't have any information. I haven't talked to anybody at all that can tell me definitively yes or no. Right? I don't. But this is brought to you by Pure Xbox and Craig Reed. Microsoft adds Xbox handheld to logo to Xbox store pages. But everybody's trying to figure out what does it mean. Now, Microsoft has begun adding Xbox handheld label to games like Gears of War E-Day, Halo Campaign Evolved, and more. The new graphic can be found meandering down to the ways to play section. Of course, it indicates whether a specific title is optimized for the handheld play similar to the Steam Deck Verified, which is funny enough, also includes Steam logo at the store page. This feature, however, isn't entirely new. Xbox already indicates whether a game is optimized for handheld devices when browsing the store on your chosen hardware, but not quite like this, right? We're zooming into this. Ways to play: Xbox Game Pass, Series X, Xbox on PC, Xbox handheld, Steam to a lesser extent. You see? Then we click over here and you go ways to play: Xbox Game Pass, Series X, handheld, Steam, PlayStation. Here, see? Cloud gaming. The folks over at Windows Central seems to think it's a specific wording Xbox handheld could be adding to the rumors that Microsoft is quietly working on an in-house Xbox handheld device. But they're not convinced. Now, I'm going to say this. The rumors of Xbox having a handheld device before were true. The rumors of said device being shelved was true. Does the device get new life under new leadership for some reasons other than what we know? I don't know. Do they make a handheld based upon knowing that PlayStation handheld will release next year? I'm on record telling you that the PlayStation handheld will release next year. Do they combat that? Is that the reason for the handheld conversation? Because you can be a little bit more specific. Xbox handheld lends to a specific device, not Xbox handhelds. Like you say, MSI Claw, because that's not an Xbox handheld. The Cloud Machine. What up, George Parcells? What's good? Great Mongoose, what's up? Listen. Oh, you said, why the live show is at 480p? I'll fix it intrinsically. I'll do it in the back end. I'll raise it up for you guys. He said, yeah, me too. What gives? I got you. I'll put it up higher. If you want it at 1080p, I got you.
At George Purcell 5331 donated £1.99 through Super Chat. P's handheld is all they will get. Hashtag no PS6. Hashtag XNWO.
Blessings. It's just true. Let me see if I can fix the settings right now. Let me see if I can get the settings, the output resolution here. Let me see, video, base canvas. I can't change it right now. Yes. Huh? Oh, UPS? Oh, okay. I got it. Hold on. It's inside the middle room next to my. Huh? Hello, you heard me? Hold on a second. Hello? Yes, you coming right now. All right, thank you. Yeah, I got to get ready to boogie out of here. I'm gonna fix it. I'll get y'all to a higher resolution. My bad. Remember when Verizon had messed me up, so I dropped the resolution down. And huh? I dropped the resolution down. All right, yo, catch y'all in a second. Listen, it's next to the PC. Jesus Christ.
What's a man to a king? What's it a saying? Advancing the line, advancing the payment. You front the game, but shoot what said as you claim it. It's that Xbox, spin the block, his legs slide. Fast talking, no wriggling, moonwalking, selling moon rock just to make dividends. You in traffic with family? That flash making a portrait. Gun kick back, not grannies from porches. David on the scene, you know that it's scorching. What's a man to a king? What's it a saying? Advancing the line, advancing the payment. You front the game, but shoot what said as you claim it.
You already know the time, told my boys to hold the line. We gon' shoot it out in seconds, leave you posted like a vine. Bow your head down to the king, leave your roses at the shrine. We stay ready for the war, just need the king to drop the sign. Say what you running from, what you running from. I'm with my team, we bleed green, that's what you wanted, huh? Said what you running from, what you running from. I'm with my team, we bleed green, that's what you wanted, huh? This what you wanted. This what you wanted, huh?
What's a man to a king? What's it a saying? Advancing the line, advancing the payment. You front the game, but shoot what said as you claim it.
My bad. Anyway, I apologize. Had some stuff coming. UPS came. People act like they don't know where boxes is. Absolutely insane. Listen, I apologize for breaking the stream like that, but I want you to go where you need to go, where I'm about to go, where you should go. I want you to go where game is game and win is win. And I also want you to try to play the Game Pass. Even though we went longer today and we were having a good conversation, I got wrapped up into it. Forgot that UPS was supposed to show up and take a box today and take it back. I had got some like PC monitors or holders, and the table I have upstairs doesn't really fit them. The table I have down here fits them, doesn't fit the one upstairs. So again, I just want to apologize. Catch you guys later. I appreciate each and every last one of you. Blessings.
What's a man or a king? What's the saying? Advancing the line, advancing the payment. You front the game, but what said as you claim it. It's that Xbox. Spin the block, his legs live. Fast talking, no riddling. Moonwalking, selling moon rock just to make dividends. You in traffic with family? That flash making a portrait. Gun kick back, not grannies from porches. David on the scene, you know that it's scorching. What's a man or a king? What's the saying? Advancing the line, advancing the payment. You front the game, but what said as you claim it.
You already know the time, told my boys to hold the line. We gon' shoot it out in seconds, leave you posted like a vine. Bow your head down to the king, leave your roses at the shrine. We stay ready for the war, just need the king to drop the sign. Say what you running from, what you running from. I'm with my team, we bleed green, that's what you wanted, huh? Said what you running from, what you running from. I'm with my team, we bleed green, that's what you wanted, huh? This what you wanted. This what you wanted, huh?